the COMPACTenna CB antenna for 11 meters. I want to tell you about this, tell you about the concept of this antenna. But first, 2 shout outs. Number 1, Dr. Jack. I asked you about this antenna months ago. Just now getting around to the video. Sorry, Dr. Jack. Thanks for sending it. And my second shout out is my sponsors.
HamRadioConcepts is brought to you by HamRadioPrep.com. It's never been easier to learn about ham radio before you take the exam. And Ham Radio Prep makes it fun and guarantees your success. Visit HamRadioPrep.com. Use the code ERIC20 to instantly save 20% off every course you buy. Remember the name, HamRadioPrep.com.
So the reason I have this antenna, so I reached out to Dr. Jack Nilsson, who created this, who created the COMPACTenna, the dual band 7-inch, the Scan 3, which is a 9-inch that somehow works on VHF, UHF, and 800 and 900, and a full band scanner receiver at the same time. Wow. There's a lot of technology. This guy's very smart, okay, way beyond my head. And I did make a video of the podcast that I had with him where I've kind of videoed me talking with him. He's very smart. So I asked him a couple months ago, and I said, Dr. Jack. Dr. Jack did send me this. Dusty in here. He did send me that a while ago. Check that out. Isn't that cool? HamRadioConcepts, masterful, enlightening. Thank you, Eric, Dr. Jack. A glass plaque there. It's always great. This isn't some setup on me making videos. He just appreciated that. He sent me those. I made videos on them. And then he sends me that. Has it made. It's pretty neat stuff. Guy's amazing. I've talked to him on a personal level. It makes me feel comfortable a lot. If I'm having a bad day, Dr. Jack's always got an answer for it. Okay? So the reason this came about was because I saw on a bunch of RVs, I saw something like this. And I didn't know what it was until I realized that he had a CB version. Okay, we're going to go over this. So I said, hey, Dr. Jack, can you send me one? He sent me one for free. I didn't pay for this. He didn't ask me to do it. He said, it's sent to you. You tell me what you think on YouTube. There you go. So now I know why the people had that on the RV, because this is a compromised size, a short antenna. Listen, every day there are people that are yelling at me on YouTube because they live in an HOA or they don't want to have the antenna. I like the antennas you have on your vehicle, Eric. My wife won't have it. That's fine. I get it. But this is a 2-foot antenna, okay, that has a 3/8 by 24. This is not just a bunch of wire. His patent is listed here. This is a unique electric magnetic field diversity science and technology patented design using Tesla light coils and all kinds of stuff that probably he doesn't tell anybody. But man, I'm going to tell you, this one is marketed for the CB market. And this is a 2-foot antenna, and this is designed to give you adequate performance compared to a 4-foot antenna. A lot of people like the Fire Stick antennas, right? For CB. I mean, I have the Shark tunable tip 5-foot fiberglass whips. 2 of them, I'll show you that in a minute in this video, on my truck. I've had no problems with them. I talk to people all over the country on that thing. I have a little power. And they're working good. But for those who don't have, let's say you just have the ability to have a magnet mount, or you live in an HOA and you want to put this thing in the attic because that's all you can do. The way this is designed, it will give you performance in an area that you wouldn't think you would have performance. Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to preface this with this. Yes, Dr. Jack will tell you himself, if you want to get an Antron 99, an 18-foot, 3/4 wave or 5/8, whatever Antron was, I forget. I've had so many of them. If you want to get an 18-foot or an IMAX 2024-foot CB antenna, you're going to outperform this. If you got this great big honking setup in your truck, you probably outperform this. But this is not geared to try to say this is the best antenna in the world. What this is saying is, if this is all the size you got, Dr. Jack is going to make it work. That's the idea. So let me go a little bit closer in here and give you some of the I'm going to pull up the computer and show you a couple of the ways that they mount these and what you can do with them for even an emergency operation. Guys, people are all over when the grid goes down, when this goes down. It can happen. It may happen. Some people say it will happen. Something like this is a lot smaller than the Antron 99. Okay, this can be used as a weapon in your house. I'm kidding, but it could. Okay, so let's get into right now the COMPACtenna CB antenna. All right, so the link is in the description. I want to show you the COMPACtenna.com website again and show you this model right here that I'm talking about. The model CB/2 meter/440. Finally, a super short CB antenna that actually works great. Now, I'm going to tell you that in this video, you're not going to see anything about 2 meters and 440 bands. Why? Because I'm really not worried about that, to be honest with you. I'm just looking at the CB aspect of it. Okay, maybe if I, for some reason, have a 2 meter 440 antenna or radio in my work truck, I could do that. But I did not worry about testing it and, configuring it for that. But it does say that it gives you the potential less than a 2-to-1 SWR on CB 11 meters, 2 meters, and 440. Standard 3/8 by 24 inch thread at the bottom. 3/8 inch by 24 rather. Now, I want you to look at a couple of these pictures. This is what I'm going to tell you. Somehow, Dr. Jack has determined with his wide range of quantum theory and everything, how this, I asked him in the podcast, I don't understand. Usually you want an antenna in the middle of your roof or in the middle of this. Why does this work the best at the corner? Well, he explained it. I kind of forgot a lot of it. But here's an example here of what he did with a sheet here with a Hustler magnet mount at one corner, and then an 8-foot long, 12-inch wide aluminum foil extension. Now, what this would be is a field deployable situation. All right, this is your counterpoise. 102 inches is about a quarter wave on 11 meters. All right. So you're using this as the radiator and then this foil as the counterpoise. Would that work in an HOA for you in your attic? Yes, you could do it this way. In fact, if you look at a picture like this, right, in the attic, look, 8-foot long, 12-inch wide aluminum foil extension centered along the far edge of metal sheet, away from antennas, attached here with conductive tape, right? I'm still baffled by it, but the way I'm going to test this on my truck is probably not going to be as efficient as what you see in this picture because my truck is not set up for that. I haven't had time to set it up in my attic, but I've heard people in HOAs that are trying to figure out can I lay a piece of wire in my attic? This may be for you if you want to get on 11 meters. It can happen, all right? Here's another one. 3/8 inch by 24 antenna ball mount on the upper corner pickup truck cab from breedlovemounts.com. So this is another option. If you don't want one on, the roof, you wouldn't want this on the roof of the antenna like with a mag mount. It's going to blow over, okay? If you're going to use this with the top load design, you're going to want this mounted, fixed to your vehicle, all right? So let me go back up here for a second because we're getting into testing this. I'm going to show you on the analyzer quickly on what this looks like. I'm trying to give you a little bit of education. You take your education, make your own video, and go, right? That's what this is about. I'm not telling you I'm an expert on this. I'm just excited to, I think, have the only video on YouTube so far with this antenna. So galvanized steel sheet metal, like roofing flashing steel or sheet for magnet mount application, through-hole style mounts may be used, as well as on other metal sheeting such as aluminum. The thickness of metal sheeting changes structural integrity, not RF properties, substantially. Right? And it gives you an idea here. So I'm going to put this link in the description. He's got a lot of information here, okay? So here's what everybody's going to want to know, the maximum power rating. Well, let's go over here first. So a magnetic field resonator, okay? Built-in resonating matching system is an effectual component of the electromagnetic E and H fields production, resulting in better performance than expected for such a small antenna. That is the game plan here. Getting performance from a small antenna. Now, he did make that happen with the COMPACtenna 7-inch dual band and 9-inch scan 3. You wouldn't think a 9-inch antenna would do that, but it does, right? I'm a firm believer of that because I have it. And El Cara, a Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association. That link is in the bottom too. I meet these guys every time at HamFest. Those guys are great, him and his brother. And man, They have been with Jack at Dayton this year, and they did a lot of video with Jack. You can see him. All the links are going to be in the description below in this video. And they also use these for Aries and MCOM, and they say, wow, we can't believe the performance. So this is not just me saying this. You can check this out online. The proof is in the pudding. Maximum power rating on HF, suppressed carrier modulation conversational sideband transmission, without speech processing, raising average power 50 watts. Now, why would you have an antenna that only handles 50 watts? Because every CB in the world, or at least in the US, is FCC regulated at 4 watts. Insert joke here. But, if you have like my President Lincoln does do 50 watts on CB. Yes, it does. It's a 10 meter, 12 meter radio. You throw a resistor in, you get 50 watts out of it. Would it work on this? Of course. Non-suppressed carrier modulation like FT8, AM, and FM, because those are more of a fuller duty cycle, 15 watts, okay? And it says VHF 85 watts, UHF 50 watts. I have not tested that yet. Too much in the video to do that. If you want to, what's the maximum duty cycle? Maximum total transmit time of 1 minute in any 2-minute period. Higher power up to 100 watts is allowable for 3 minutes at the defined duty cycle, then requiring a 15-minute internal cooldown period. VSWR nominal less than 2 to 1, 26.9 to 27.4. That's the entire CB band. And then 144 to 148 2-meter band and 420 to 450. So it'll actually work on dual band. But I don't know any radio in the world that does 11 and then 2 and 440. So I'm gonna market this or look at this on my videos and describe it as a CB antenna, because he does make the Scan 3 another one. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but that's how I'm going to promote, this video. All right. You want to make sure that, surrounding, look, see, that's now see, your results are going to vary. All right. Different installations are all going to give you all different results, whether it be placed on your vehicle differently, at a different length of coax, a different type of coax, a different analyzer. Everything's going to be different. Now, what I can tell you is I had at 27.085, I had about a 1.2 to 1. Okay. Once I hit 27.248, as indicated in this picture, it went up to about 1.4, 1.5 to 1. So that's, again, that's his, there. So that's only 20 inches. All right. And again, even on stationary vehicle, as in campgrounds, parks on the air, there are reports of the use of 20-inch models of COMPACtenna on a vehicle in motion with success using secure mounting installation, indicating the availability of a variety of rugged mobile mounts. Where did I get the word modem? That's a video coming up. Stay tuned. So you don't want to put this on a little tiny mag mount and expect this thing to hold on, because it is top loaded. So I'm going to say if you got the MFJ Goliath, which is the 3 5-inch magnet mount in a triangle. I've had that before. That will hold this antenna. But again, this is designed really to be in the corner. So that triple mag mount is not going to be good in the corner of the top of your truck or van or car. You want to think about a trunk lip mount or a hood mount up in the corner of the vehicle. If somehow it works that way, that's what you want to think about. In the corner of the vehicle. Look at my other videos on the Scan 3 and the dual band and how that thing changed. You can watch my video on the SWR changing when I went from the center of my hood to the left side of my hood. It was night and day difference. That's how Dr. Jack invented this. That's his patented electro design, and that's how it's going to stay. All right, let me give you an update on what I have here for CB currently. I have 2 of the 4-foot fiberglass shark antenna CB whips with tunable tips right here. Okay, a little bit of power behind the back seat, and my Union 885, a hybrid CB scanner, which actually is still amazing. I've talked all over the country on that thing with these antennas and a little bit of power, and I hear the scanner all the time on stuff that's going on wherever I am. But let's say you want something that's a little more compact. Let's say you don't have, a truck that you want this stuff on, or maybe you're at home operation. I did these 2 antennas to pull the RV down the road, so I'm facing, forward and behind. That's why I put 2 of the whips on there. But what I'm going to do for this video, for testing, is I'm going to take this whip off here, and I'm going to disconnect the cable here, and I'm going to run it right here with my Rig Expert AA2000 analyzer and see, because I have the phasing harness. Both of those go in under the back seat. I don't want to take all the cabling off, and I'm not going to try to run this for a test, the COMPACtenna CB antenna here with a phasing harness with that one on the other side. That won't work. So that's what I'm going to do, but these Shark antennas work good. But like I said, there's a need. I've seen a lot of people in the RVs. That's what made me reach out to Jack, because I saw this thing on people's RVs, and I want to have some radios in that RV one day. But I saw people driving down the road with campsites with that little antenna, and apparently it does really good, because people have them. I've seen them on the RVs, guy, on I-95 and the Turnpike. They have those COMPACtenna CB antennas on there. So let's get this thing on here and check it out. So at first glance, it kind of looks, well, obnoxious maybe. I mean, I don't think so. You know me, I love having, look at this. I love having antennas that are just all over my vans, you know, work stuff. But anyways, you know, this is mounted on the side of the toolbox. So let's say you have this in the middle of a magnet mount, or you know, on the edge of a trunk lip or something. Maybe it won't look so bad, but that is the way this is designed. Now, let me tell you something before we get into testing this. I want you to know something. When you look at CB antennas, you know, there are people that if you're new to CB or any kind of antenna that's related to HF or anything, you ever see a picture like this, where you have the coil in the middle? They've had ones that are called Monkey Made, and then you got the Wilsons, which have the coil in the middle. Then you got ones that claim 5,000 watts, this and that. You have all these coils in the middle. But listen, this isn't any sort of amplifier or magic device whatsoever. All this is, well, okay, Jack, let me rephrase that. Jack put a lot of design into this. This is different, but what I'm trying to tell you is, for those pictures I showed you, all those coils are doing on a CB antenna is giving you electrically an 11 meter band length, which would be, you know, roughly 102 inches, in a compact form, right? So this is a top load, right? And again, this is very different than a coil. Dr. Jack, this is a patented design here. You want to look at my other videos on the COMPACtenna, there's a reason for that. He somehow has this magic, and I still don't understand it, but he's using Tesla-like coils and stuff in there to really make things work when they shouldn't. So the idea behind this antenna is to have similar performance of, say, a 4-foot fire stick antenna for somebody that doesn't want to have a 4-foot fire stick antenna. And this is compromised in size, but the thing with COMPACtenna is, and I'm not just saying this, I mean, I have one up on the work van there. I can't find the other one at the moment. I think I borrowed it or lent it to somebody, but I've used the Scan 3 and the COMPACtenna dual band, and I'm telling you, it works when it shouldn't. So a 7-inch antenna for VHF, UHF, you would think, well, no, I want a 5-foot antenna. Well, I do too. But in the event you can't have a 5-foot antenna, what's the next best thing is a COMPACtenna design. Now, again, I chose 4-foot antennas, right, for my CB. But this is supposed to give you a 4-foot adequate performance with a 2-foot footprint. That's the idea. And the way that works is with the patented technology in here. So I just want nobody, I don't want anybody to think, well, what's in there? Is there an amplifier? What's it? No, that's a patented design. But those coils you see do nothing on like a Monkey Made or a Wilson or a Flamethrower or all kinds of weird antennas. They put a coil in the middle. You think, wow, that's going to give me better performance. No, it's just giving you that full length size in a compact version. So let me hook this up. I got this right now to the Rig Expert AA2000. Man, I love this thing. They sent this to me after all the videos I did on the Rig Expert, and they said, here, just show this in the videos because you've earned this. You've shown a lot of stuff on Rig Expert, and man, this thing never, ever lets me down, okay? So I'm gonna go like this, right, in real time, right here, connected to the antenna, right? I wish there was an easier way of doing this. I don't have a camera tripod on me. Okay, we're gonna do SWR chart. I'm gonna go frequency range. There we go. Frequency range for 11 meter band. I'm gonna hit start. See the dip right there? The dip is about 27096. So 27185 would be channel 19, which is about 1.6 to 1. He says under 2 to 1 at the entire CB band. That's a pretty narrow curve there, but that's acceptable, okay? That is acceptable for a CB antenna. It's not as broadbanded, but that's okay. So there's 26.977, so roughly, there. That would be channel 1, 26.965. So we're just about channel 1, and the SWR is still only 2 to 1. Then we go to 27.405. Is about 4 to 1. So your results may vary. The ideal way to set this up would be, as it shows in the literature, something like this on the corner of the body of your vehicle. If I mounted this thing back here, you know, it may be a little better, because that COMPACtenna operates very weirdly. Again, his patented design, this guy's a brainiac, man. He's a genius. You listen to my podcast and listen about how we talked about this stuff. He goes into quantum theory on how this stuff works. Way over my head, way over your head. Okay, but if in the event of this being mounted somewhere different, you may have even a better result. I would be acceptable with that, being right around the middle of the band, having a 2 to 1 or less. That is acceptable. All right. So that's just me mounted on a toolbox. Now, if you want to mount this in in your house or in your attic, you know, the photographs in the manual do show you could put this thing on a plate on the corner and then run like an 8-foot piece of foil out as a counterpoise and have a very decent result within your HOA. You know, there's a big, huge need for antennas in HOA. You could obviously see, I do not live in an HOA. I never will. I'm sorry if you do, and I chose not to. But, and of course, my antennas in an HOA, they would never let me drive around in a truck this loud. When I start this thing up in the morning, I'd have the cops called. But if you're in an HOA, that's the idea behind this. Now, my disclaimer is this. If you want to get an Antron 99 for CB or an 8-foot or 102-inch whip, yes, the 102-inch whip is going to outperform this antenna. But it's funny how he designed and patented this design here to operate as efficiently as a 4-foot whip in this little tiny footprint. All right, so I hope this video was a little bit enlightening, okay? And I had fun making it, but I want to tell you something. First off, I do want to really meet Dr. Jack in person. I didn't get to go to Dayton, and apparently he had all this stuff set up, and people were going there asking, saying they saw my previous videos, they wanted to know more, and the guy is super nice. But this is the next one coming up very soon, and this one's going to blow my mind if this works, because I did ask for that one, and he threw this one in the box. This is the COMPACtenna shortwave radio receive antenna. Really? Will this thing actually receive shortwave with this little antenna? Don't you need like an 80-foot, 90-foot, 100-foot antenna? I'm going to find out. And I'll be honest, if it doesn't, but I'm going to show this because I'm guessing he did not develop this patent because he just wanted to do this. This has got to work. But we're going to find that out next time in the video. Thank you everybody for watching. Look for the other COMPACtenna videos that I have. The Scan 3, the dual band. We still haven't got around to the LMR version. Wow. Jim? Hey, Jim? Motorola Jim? Where you at? Let's get that done. I know. Jim's been testing it. I haven't had time, guys. Family gets in the way. I took a little bit of time off in the summer like I do every year to spend time with my wife. And now it's back to making videos. So, let's check this one out next time. But thanks for watching this video on HamRadioConcepts. More videos are on the way. 7-3.